So what are firms looking for? I think they're looking for passion. You need to be conscious of the fact that this is traditionally, it's a creative industry still. And you can sometimes hear the term kind of bean counter or lack of creativity. I definitely sat down during interviews with a CEO who's quite well known in the industry, who I won't say because we'll live on the web. And I remember him looking at me and saying, well, Whitney, you know what I think about MBAs? And I was like, you have an MBA, that's not very fair. We're not uncreative just because we have this education, but I think you kind of have to prove that. You have to prove that you're passionate. And one way to do that, I really believe in dressing for it. You know, if you're interviewing J. Crew, go buy something from the new delivery to wear there. If you're interviewing for Ralph Lauren, we clearly have a clear aesthetic. Show that you understand the brand and you're passionate about it. And I think through that as well, aesthetic sensibility. Karen Harvey is one of my dear friends who is one of the top recruiters in the industry at the C-suite level, and she was kind enough to talk to a lot of us at Wharton when we were in school a few years ago, and she said, you know, I can always pick out a merchant from how they dress. And keep in mind, people, particularly for, you know, the more creative merchandising marketing roles, will definitely be, you know, evaluating you on those points. So this is the time to put your best foot forward. At the same time, I think being conscientious about the fact that, you know, the firms have often probably had MBAs, interns who've come in and been less than humble. I've heard horror stories from a lot of firms that stopped hiring MBAs because they came in kind of sensing that they were entitled, and they didn't end up being happy with the experience. They didn't want to have to do data entry, or they didn't want to do a lot of the things that retail jobs include at the beginning. So I think showing that you're humble and you don't know everything about the industry, and just because you've taken a couple of classes and know theories, you know, you couldn't fix their business for them. You have ideas and you have opinions, but I think going in humble was the best advice I got going into a lot of these interviews. I think creativity, they're looking for creative solutions. They're looking for ideas when you talk about what you like about their site or what you like on other sites. And you definitely should come in knowing what you like that you've seen in stores lately, what you like that you see in terms of product or presentation or e-commerce features, and what sort of creative solutions you might suggest. And at the same time, analytical skills. This is a creative industry, but even merchandising, which is, you know, one of the more creative functions for sure, is very analytical. I spend way more of my day than I would like to ever admit, or than I would have thought I would have on PowerPoint. Not PowerPoint, PowerPoint, Excel. I think I try to get into the PowerPoint as much as I can, because I'm spending a ton of time doing data entry and just analyzing all of that. And you know, planning is even more of that. So I think that's a great thing that you do bring to the table in terms of, you know, how to do a hindsight and a scorecard, or you can at least learn. And I think teamwork is really important. Retail is a big teamwork industry. The data support that the best buys are done kind of through a collaborative process. You're working with your planning team, you're working with your creative team, you're working with the design team, you're working with the marketing team. You're working with a lot of different people on these, and I think they want to see that teamwork's there. And then just like with any job, time management, there's a lot of, you know, different parts. So I think that's good advice in general. But I do think the kind of unique parts about retail are, you know, coming in with a humble attitude and coming in being conscientious to show like that passion, and that kind of articulates and, you know, how you present yourself.